Brad Williams, Excel Prime. Here's a simple way to filter pivot tables with slicers. What are slicers? Slicers are just a tool that makes it really easy to filter data in a pivot table. You can do the same thing, the same filtering through the pivot table, but a slicer makes it so much easier. So for someone who's just not keen on working with a pivot table and filtering, if you insert slicers, you just made life real easy. If you have a boss that just says, I'm computer illiterate, then a slicer may fill that space. How do you insert a slicer? First and foremost, we need to create a pivot table. We have data here. We can just highlight the data, insert, then create a pivot table. And here's our pivot table fields. We want to grab the state and we want to put it in the columns. To put month over here in month, sales to go here, because what we're trying to do is sum up the sales. That's our goal. We want to know what's going on in California for a particular month, or what's going on in Washington or Oregon or what have you. So here we have this range of data. We can set this up to pivot around all of this stuff. Let me show you what's going on with a pivot table. How do you insert a slicer? Insert filter slicers. Make sure you're within this pivot table. Hit insert, pivot table. Keep going over to filters. So you go insert, filters, slicer. Hit slicer. And what do we want? We want state, month. This is what we're filtering by in sales. All we do is hit go. And here we have filters. We want to see what's going on in California. We just click California. If we want to know what's going on in January, we go January. If we want to know, this doesn't work real well, this is sort of, well, who cares? We already see sales. It's going to be a grand total. So to get rid of this, just hit right click to remove cells. If there's something else you want to see, go back into insert, slicers, go to filter, slicers. Do you want region? You want to see what's going on with the region? Just click region, hit OK. Just move this. If you want central region, you can see it doesn't really do a heck of a lot. West, central, east. You're going to have to pick something here. You can click all of them. You can see what's going on. You have the total for Florida, Massachusetts, New Jersey, across here. You can get rid of all of those. You can say central. If you hit central, January, central, west, you can go like that. You can grab this information and hit pivot table and pivot table chart. And we'll just hit this just for simplicity. We can see the chart. Not very attractive, but kind of get the gist here. You don't want this in the way. Just get rid of region. Just click anywhere inside the box, hit remove region. Let's move month over and state over. Bring this up. And let's say Arizona, California, Florida. You can see the sales there. That's the gist. That's pretty much slicers. Simple. Very straightforward, easy to filter data. Here's a second example of slicers. Here we have 440 rows of finance information. We have new accounts, the amount, the type, opened by either new accounts rep or account rep. We have by branch and whether it's a new or an existing customer. Now we can filter this using a pivot table, or we can use slicers. With slicers, you can modify this. If you want to shrink this, resize it, you could just grab and reslice if you want. Basically, if you don't recall, just go to insert, slicers. What happens there? We're not within the pivot table. We need to be in the pivot table to do this. Make sure you're in the pivot table. Go to slicers, whatever you want filtered. Here we just said open by an account rep or new accounts. a branch customer. Cancel. What we're seeing here is the grand total of, in the West, there were 15 accounts open. The amount was 127,000. This was by account reps. 15 accounts, 127. You can see that everything reconciles. A little redundancy here. You can get new accounts. There were 48 and a whole heck of a lot more money in new accounts. You can see how simple it is. That's Slicer in a nutshell. Brad Williams, Excel Prime, out. Williams out.